worrying about what other people think. One thing I will say is I couldn't care less what other people think. And the funny thing is, the trolls don't like it when you say that, because what it really means is they've got nothing to argue with. You don't care. Now, what it actually means is I don't really care what other people's opinions are, because unless it's actually something that's driving something positive, what's the point? You know, at the end of the day, it's like we have software issues at work. I put the solutions on the table. I sit and write documents on how to rectify it. Anybody can sit there and go, it doesn't work. But actually turn around and fixing the problems is what matters. And that's what I've been focusing on. Actually finding the solutions for the issues we're having. And the same goes for pretty much everything in life. If you look at how things are focused in things like magazines and TV, you got to be this shape, you got to be this tall, you got to be this white or whatever. It's all utter nonsense. I mean, you've got in the Philippines and Asia generally, people are using skin whitening and bleaching their skin to be whiter, while in the West, people are using spray-on tan and going to tanning salons, etc., to be more tan. Don't you think there's something going on with the sales side of this stuff? You know, it's a whole gimmick. Because the people who are winning are the ones selling you crap. And that's the way you've got to look at a lot of this stuff. It's all about selling you something. Because if people turn around and says, well, I'm content as I am, it doesn't really do the beauty industry and the gym memberships or they're any good. You know, people just being content as they are is something that's not really driven. And I find it a bit bizarre when people sort of talk about like obesity in the UK. There's a conversation that comes up regularly at the moment. It's one thing that I say to people, you know, it's like when I was a kid, you have like say £3 in your pocket. You go, you know what, I'm going to go swimming. So you just head down to the council swimming pool, jump in the swimming pool, spend your money, and then walk home. These days, they've given all those to private enterprise. You go down to the swimming pool, they say, oh, it's £30 a month, and we need you on an 18-month subscription, which is compulsory, so that we can, because they know people don't go regularly. And you're thinking, so you want people on a subscription, yet you're telling people they're fat because they can't get enough exercise because you're removing them the access to things like the gym because they don't want to be locked into a contract. Great. Because I mean, one of the things I will say is I do use things like swimming pools and gym equipment if it's accessible. I mean, most of the hotels we stop in don't really have them, but if I've got access to a gym, I'll use it. I mean, when I was at the Millennium in Birmingham a few years back, I was in the gym 3 hours a day. In the same way where in the Philippines, we've got a cross trainer in the house. That gets used regularly. But the point being is, these facilities are all becoming a cash generated industry rather than actually thinking about healthcare. Because they actually focus more on people actually having access to regular fitness, then they probably have more benefits overall for the population of wherever. I say wherever because it's not just the UK. But the point being is, you don't really need to focus on what people think of you, but focus on what makes you happy. Now, at the end of the day, I know when I'm sat behind the desk, I'm not getting enough exercise because I'm, you know, regularly stuck behind the desk. But at the same time, I do other things that have a good well-being. You know, like at the end of the day, sitting there having a coffee and a chat with my wife, or meeting with friends and eating out have other benefits. Because one thing I don't have is any stress. I don't really suffer with stress in any sense. I don't suffer with financial troubles and things like that. I'm completely debt free. And I think that's the important bit, is to make sure you're giving yourself the best well-being you can have. It's not just about looking good, it's actually about feeling good. I mean, one of the things I do actually like is a bit of shop therapy now and again. I do like buying some new clothes and stuff, which I normally do on contracts. Once I get my first month in, I normally go and have a spending spree. I just like, you know, having a load of new clothes to wear. But is it superficial? No, because like I said, I don't really care what people say about what I'm wearing. Because I mean, in all honesty, what I wear these days is very European, and in the UK it doesn't really fit in with the way people dress in the UK. So if I cared about what they would say and what people say, I wouldn't be wearing, like, say, a blue jacket, blue what do you call it, like yacht shoes, and just looking casual, even in the office. I mean, I do wear pinstripe suits when I have to, but these days I'm more laid back, more into the European way of living. I mean, it's like work-wise, I like working in the evenings. I'm not one for getting up at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, working till 5 and then going home. I'd rather get up around 10, have a coffee, start work, see the kids if I can, if I'm home. Then when the kids go to bed, sit and work. You know, that's the lifestyle I like. I mean, obviously I'm not doing that when I'm in the UK, but at the same time, that's the way I like living. But that's it, that's the point. You should drive towards what makes you happy and what makes you content, and try and move away from the stuff that is just crap. Like when you've got a lot of negative friends or whatever, they'll always be negative whether you're there or not. And I'm sure they're negative about you when you're not there anyway. Doesn't matter, the answer is no. What matters is you're wasting your time with them. I mean, I can understand, like, where you've got friends with health issues or whatever, you're there because they haven't got a lot of people to talk to. But if they're a bit more positive, maybe they bloody would have anyway. But the driving force in this is actually being content. Anyway, yeah, set your goals, be happy, look at what actually you want out of life, sit and analyse it, and decide what you really want, how you want to achieve it. Because it's not always about money, it's not always about relocating to somewhere like here. A lot of the time it's stuff right on your doorstep. I mean, I know April started doing yoga recently and she's enjoying yoga. Now, I've never tried it. It's not something I find interesting. I've got to admit, I'd rather have an hour on the treadmill. But at the same time, that's what she enjoys. Not knocking it at all. And the same way, there'll be something that cycling. I like cycling, so fitness-wise, when I get the time, because now I haven't got a bike in the UK, I've got to buy another one for the UK. But the point being is, you do what makes you happy. One of the things I have done this trip is I've brought my camera gear. My camera's already in the UK, so they're probably going to look at me strangely at the airport because there's a bag full of lenses and no camera. But the point being is, I'm doing what I enjoy. Photography is one of those things I enjoy, and also there's money in it if you're good enough at it. I'm not good enough yet, but at the same time, I hang out with the guys from the camera club who are way better than me, but at the same time, they share their knowledge, and that's one of the things I do recommend, which I find quite rewarding, is actually teaching people stuff that's inside my head. It's why I do these videos as well, you know, sharing my life, sharing my experience, sharing my thoughts, etc. Has had a lot of positive outputs for people over the years. It's like the last week I've been meeting people from all over the place that are looking to live in Spain because they've been watching these videos and thought, I fancy doing that. So they've come and see me in Spain. They're here for other reasons as well, but they want to meet up after watching the videos. But anyway, take it easy, enjoy life.